Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. This is Redneck Johnny here, and we are back now. It's been a little bit of a crazy week. A lot of things has fallen a bit, continued to fall, and today is, at least for my portfolio, a good day. We will go into it a bit more later here. But I wanted to start off. Look, there's a new tweet from Roaring Kitty, and it's just a picture of a dog. And people are, of course, connecting it to Ryan Cohen's other company, CHWY. And if you have paid attention to CHWY today, it actually ended in red. But look at this spike. I think this was straight after the tweet or something. Crazy times, huh? I'm sure it was a bounce on the tweet. It went from 28 almost to like 37.5, and then dropped down again heavily, and it ended now in red. I checked it just a little bit ago, and it was in green, you know. But yeah, crazy movement, and who knows if Roaring Kitty is in CHWY, but you can interpret this however you want it. Maybe it's just having some fun. I will say though, if you go to Unusual Whales, which is like a pretty serious account, he is talking about like, holy shit, Unusual Whales have been following the unusual CHWY buyers. Since Monday, large blocks of CHWY were followed. Could this be Roaring Kitty of GME again? We don't know, but they have made millions. And he was quick out under Roaring Kitty's post, saying that they have been tracking these things for a while now, and they've seen some big movements in the option market for both CHWY and GME, I think he said. So who knows? Who knows? It would be cool to follow this and see if we get some updates. Maybe another stream will come from Roaring Kitty. I hope so, but I'm not sure. And if he's involved in CHWY now also, it just gives you a picture of how much he trusts Ryan Cohen, I think. And then that he is betting on Ryan Cohen. So that's what I think. If this is actually true that is involved in CHWY, I just found it a bit crazy again to see, you know. So I just wanted to pull it off. I'm not gonna talk about CHWY. CHWY came up on my Daily Movers screen. It was this week or last week. It has had some, you know, yeah, probably around. I'm sure when I saw it. Maybe it was around here on our way up or something. But it was a little bit cheap not too long ago, you know. For me, I think it's a bit steep right now in market cap in terms of what I'm looking for to pull it up in the fundamentals and everything like that. So I didn't do that. But now maybe we're gonna get some crazy price action in CHWY. So yeah, just interesting to see. And also on Usual Whales, he also tracked Roaring Kitty's position in GME now recently, before his last stream. So you know, they are keeping an eye on the situation. So just interesting to see. And then we have Alto. Big day for Alto. Look, up 11.5%. You know, down a bit like usual in the pre-market. I mean aftermarket. But good day, up to almost $1.5 again. This was expected in my opinion. The price around like in the 120s has been insane in my opinion. And you know, both Dane and I have added in this price range 120s. So I'm very happy with that I got my average down. And I was even saying to Dane, like, if I had the opportunity, I would even add more down there. I find it very weird that it was priced so low. But who knows? It's up today. A good day for Alto. Still has a long way to go though, for the thesis to play out properly. But it's just nice to see, like, you get the bounce back. And you know, we have been talking a little bit about the charts lately, and like some technical indicators and stuff like that. And the chart looks good in my opinion as well. So Alto is definitely interesting on multiple levels here, with near-term catalysts, with the earnings report coming up, like everything else. But with Alto, you know, the story about the earnings report and stuff like that is like they need to deliver soon. So it's a lot of questions tied up to the earnings report as well. And if you look at Justin on Twitter or X, I always say Twitter. He's posting like the crush margins compared to last year, and as you can see, it's like way up. So, and they have been in the past too, and then there was some fire and the management messed up a little bit, you know, in terms of expectations. So hopefully they won't do it again. I won't say that they will not drop the ball again, but at least things are in favor for somewhat good or decent earnings report this time. So let's hope they can show some results. Look at these crush margins, low compared to 1 year ago. They are up heavily, you know. And look here. This is courage and conviction. So courage and conviction is also involved in Alto. He has said that in the past. I assume by this comment here that he's still involved. He's saying just like wow, and then just in his reply, margin up another 3 cents yesterday. And I know I've said this before, but I know Justin said on his stream, because he had a stream that he has later deleted, but he said on his stream that he has been talking with courage about Alto. So they are in touch with each other. So and obviously, you know, we have been following Courage and Justin for a while as well. They are excellent investor, both of them. So it's just nice to see these names involved in Alto, and that they are still bullish like Dane and I am. You know, it does look promising. And then this is just for the earnings report. Then you might get a sale of the Western plants or updates on the news on the carbon sequestration program with Volt. So there's a lot of things now, in my opinion, to be a bit excited about in Alto. And I'm not sure if, because Justin tweeted this yesterday, and I'm not sure if the price is off today because of the tweet or whatever. But you know, he has a lot of followers, so people maybe get a bit excited. I don't think it's a tweet alone, but I think it's also justified that you get a bounce back. Yeah, and honestly, that's why we have added down here. You know, because we kind of expected them to come back a bit stronger, and you know, almost 12% off today is excellent for the portfolio at least. Let's hope it will continue. Um, I think this can creep up towards, you know, where it was before Q3 again if things start to turn around, and it does not take a lot here. And like I said on the last stream, it's like with the carbon sequestration news and everything now, if that goes through, you have to give credit to management in the way they navigated that scenario and the whole situation. I don't care what you say about them from the past and Q3 reports. Like that was well done. They picked the right partner, and they managed to get it done. You know, which they said they would all the time, and which personally that's a big thing that I've been waiting for a long time. That's a big part of my thesis, and I have been waiting for years for this. So I'm there now. So I just hope it will materialize. You know, like they are saying. And if it does, you have to give credit to management. So like I've said before, also they have done some bad things, but they have also done some good things that a lot of people are just ignoring. Um, and I think it's evident, like in some of these tweets. Hold on, I'm just gonna look for them. Like here, and rightfully so. I'm not discounting this point. Uh, Alto management. Let's pray that Alto management doesn't drop the ball this summer and fall. Yeah, let's hope they haven't. You know, I fully agree. And then Justin is replying like, well, this is where it actually gets interesting because first of all, last year many plants in the industry had much worse issues. Alto just got unlucky with a small fire that occurred at the worst possible time. And you know, Justin is in contact with management as well. And I'm not saying that you know, managements they sell you the stock also, but Justin is not an idiot. He knows how to ask the right questions and navigate through in a conversation like that, and he knows how to think for himself and deep level thinking and all that stuff, you know. Alto just got unlucky with a small fire that occurred at the worst possible time. That aside, the maintenance they just completed, done every 2 years, significantly increases the efficiency of the plant. So even if there was no fire last year, the plant this year would be operating at much better levels of efficiency. The upside on the operational side is massive. Plus, with Cobra Max hopefully fully installed in June here, live at the Magic Valley plant, the West Coast assets should have a fantastic Q3 as well as peak. So things, like I have been saying the whole time, things could potentially look very good for Alto this remaining part of 2024. So I'm just hoping, and like to this guy GA Blackburn's point, it's a fair point. Management deserves some criticism for how they have dealt with everything, but I think it has been a little bit too much. Personally, I get it, and I think I have pulled up some other tweets here as well. I think this is the reason. And I'm just showing you this also, like this guy Tandy Baron. He has a lot of followers on X. He's also involved. Look, 15,000. So he's also involved in Alto. It's like Alto is trading at severely depressed levels. It only takes one good season to shift investors' optimism. No guarantees, of course. They could miss earnings again for whatever reason, but I still think it's a good investment, especially at these prices. So there's people involved. Like these are good investors, big names that we have also followed for a while. So it's just good to see, in my opinion. What I was going to show you, though, in terms of management and expectations of them and everything like that, you see this post is from September 19th. So there was a lot of optimism in the market, and a bit similar to now, like the crush margins were very good. Everyone expected them to blow up the earnings number and everything like that. And then it didn't because they had not updated the market well enough, in my opinion, and then came on the call with a lot of negative surprises, and it dropped 60% overnight. But look at this, like this account is even way bigger than other ones, like almost 45,000 followers. And they are putting like new pitch on Alto. I'm not going to read through it, but there's like this account has written about it. It's like great pitch moving into there. And imagine if then you got involved at these levels with Alto, and then they messed up the quarter, and you are caught, on the minus side. Rightfully, then you would be super pissed at management. But it all depends on your perspective. Like I assume a lot of the people that are very vocal about how poor management has been came in around this time and then ended quickly on the minus side. And I would be pissed too. But there's a little bit more history here with the company. And okay, they have not maybe delivered and they've been a bit slow with everything. But let's see now. That's my point. Let's see how they are moving forward. I've said it before. If they keep messing up now and things get cancelled or delayed even more, like the carbon sequestration program and all that, I changed my thesis as well. And that's where I stand. Like that's where I am right now with them. But I'm optimistic. Um, I think that's all I have for Alto right now. Fantastic to see one positive day for a change. Um, let's hope it continues. For everyone involved in Alto. I've been involved for years. Managed to average down substantially this time, which I'm very happy with. So I'm positive moving forward. I'm very positive moving forward, and I'm not discounting that the management will come with some negative surprises again. But I'm just there's a lot of positive things that can also happen, and that's why I'm still averaging down and putting money into Alto. And I think the valuation has been a bit crazy. Oh, JD in chat. I didn't see you, JD. Sorry. You guys called Alto's bottom here perfectly. If this really turns around, that's crazy. Although I agree with what you were saying about being at long-term lows. Do you think it could get back to 5? Yes, I do. That's my thesis. I think it can get above 5 as well. How long that will take is another question. But you saw it was like above 4 in October. And things are looking better now, in my opinion. Maybe not in terms of crush margin and stuff like that, but we are closer to realizing big news, with the carbon sequestration program and potentially Western Plants asset sale. So yes, I think it can go back to 5, but in what time frame is a different question, JD. With crush margins increasing, is there anything else that besides a one-off event to watch for with the company? It's a bit hard to say, and I'm not gonna. I touched a little bit on it with everything I said now. There are things that has been negatively surprised us in the past. They had a hedge and stuff like that didn't play out very well. They have been taking up a loan that people were a bit confused about, like why they'd had to take on debt for something that because if you go back a bit further, they even sold another plant, because they had another plant in Stockton in California, which they sold, and things were looking good again then. So yes, there are other things than the crush margin that management has kind of messed up in the past, but they have done a lot of positive things as well. I just mentioned the asset sale in Stockton, which Justin, by the way, called perfectly as well. And then they even updated like the Q1 or Q4 results. I think this was in Q4 20 in January 2022, I think it was. Then they updated the market because they the guidance they improved like the guidance crazy, and then it was a bit crazy actually, because when the report came, it went up 25% quickly, and then it dropped and ended up 5% only. So it was, the short interest was higher back then too. So yes, there are of course things that can happen that we don't know about. We didn't know anything about the fire. There can be delays in the plans. It can be, you know, Justin was saying here with the Copra Pro Max upgrade and everything. Maybe there has been some issues with the plants working. Maybe they are shut down for maintenance, like stuff like that. I'm not sure. But if they come out now with a decent, it doesn't even have to be crazy good, but if they come now out with a decent earnings report and maybe some positive news with Volt, that's enough. That's enough to show me that they are on the right track. And then let's see, they need to deliver at some point, like on the quarters, like improve the numbers and everything. But it's also about the news, and that's why I think now, JD, that you know, there's multiple near-term catalysts and not just one. All good, you kind of answered my question anyway. Sorry, sorry for rambling now. It's a bit tricky to keep up with the chat. Hey, NASCAR, didn't see you also. BSFC was a nice mover with only 3 million shares outstanding. These often will retrace big after initial PR pop. I tried to buy the dip, but was a little too early. Was in at 195 and found a way to only make $50 today. Well, you're gonna get some of those days as well. I'm gonna pull it up, NASCAR, but a bit later when I'm moving to the fundamentals. BSFT. I will pull it up here. I know this is more like a trade play, right? Because you're more like a day trader, if I got you correct. But I want to look at fundamentals anyways, and then we can check the chart too. Blue Star Food Corp. All right. So yeah, good day. And JD, let's see if we time the bottom perfectly. I hope so. I hope, well, if it drops down below, I will continue to add with no new news. An average down. I think it's a great opportunity to get my average down. I was in too early in Alto. I have admitted that before. It's no secret. I'm down in my position. It's by far my biggest position. So I spent the time now and took the opportunity to average down pretty heavily actually. So I'm happy with that. And when we like we have followed Alto for a while, so when it dropped to like 128 or whatever it was now, you know, it has only been there. It has not been there a lot in the last. It had this period also, and I'm hoping actually that Justin will come out and update everyone on his position, because he did this in this period in April 2023. He said he had substantially added to his position then. So I'm just assuming that he has done like we did now. So hopefully, maybe, like, I mean, actually we can check his articles, because I haven't seen the articles this time. Parker Morgan, there's an article since. This is new to me. I just want to go through it. U.S. Farm Agency seeks input on climate-friendly farm practice for biofuel tax credit. Remember, last stream we brought up an article that said they were going to halt the carbon sequestration build outs in Iowa or Illinois or whatever. And then Justin commented on how that was actually beneficial for Alto. And if you want to check out that point, check out the last stream or my last stream. I think it was on Thursday a week ago. But on new updates here now. U.S. Farm Agency seeks input on climate-friendly farm practice for biofuel tax credit. Biden administration hopes to drive down transportation emissions in part by incentivizing farmers whose crops are used for biofuels to use climate-friendly farming techniques that store carbon in the soil. And I brought that up on past streams too. Like there's a account on Twitter who is pretty on the ball on these things. Can't remember what this guy. This guy is posting updates on this all the time. So I brought this up on a past stream, and he's like, if you have read his stuff, it's apparent that the farmers are not fully satisfied with this, how this will work. So it seems like they will reassess the thing then, and maybe come back with another suggestion on how to do this. So all right, I just saw that Justin was liking this post. I'm sure the current 56-cent July crush margin would be extremely detrimental to Alto. Justin is getting a bit tired of the negative sentiment. Like he's having to explain every time they had an operational issue last year and couldn't benefit from the good crush margin. Therefore, obviously, the same thing will happen this year. Um, but like I said, I get it. Like people were very excited. And if you jumped in at the Alto at the like $4 and then had a 60% drop overnight, you would be pissed. This is just like, and this company will never have any news to announce to make any quick movement up. Well, I disagree strongly with that. That's my whole thesis. Now there are near-term catalysts here. But I'm not saying like this will not happen. It can happen. It can happen. Like that's Dana and I have been saying this also. They need to prove themselves to us now. But what are we gonna do? We need to give them some opportunity to do that, right? Let's say they kill this quarter, then what? It's not impossible. That's not an impossible idea, you know. I'm I'm very defensive. But I said I actually believe they will come with some good news. I think this is just like a nonsense comment. And if people were happy with how Jeremy Raper went about being like activist, he didn't do a good job either. He wrote a letter and came in after saying, like, claiming that all his points were valid. Um, and Dane and I commented on that, and it depends on the time frame you have, you know. Justin strongly disagrees with Raper and how he went about it, and he said it was lucky that they didn't do anything. And I'm surprised, like this account too here. Look at what they said. I just don't believe it. Hold on, because Raper was the same. He came across a bit like Raper was not familiar with how big of a position Justin had in Alto when he tried to be the activist. And this guy also is like, I saw this. Do you follow Domo Capital and Reddit Seeking Alpha article? Remember, this is in past though. And then he says, no, I don't. I would take a look though. I refuse to believe that. If you do research on Alto, you have to stumble upon something by Justin. So I'm sure they say it because they want to be like the first ones or something. But you know, that's my feeling at least. I'm surprised that if you do a heavy research on Alto now, that you don't come across anything that Justin has written. I think I think that's almost impossible. So back to the point with the real activists and stuff like that. I'm not sharing that opinion. You know, this is recent. We brought this up last time. I just wanted to check the article because this is interesting, though. Take some time and read this article if you haven't. And I spoke about on the last stream that I sent an email to the journalist who wrote that they also were going to connect to the Wolf pipeline because I saw the local community were very against it, and I had some concerns around that. And he told me that that was the sentiment on the meeting that he attended, that they were actually going to do that. But then in the end, he in his reply to me, he said like that was wrong because they're not going to do that. So you know, the local community here plays a big part. It has been a concern of mine. And when you then read the transcripts on the latest quarterly reports from Alto, they are very clear about that they need to be open and communicative with the local communities. So let's see if they end up doing a good job with that. All right, I think that's what I'm going to cover for Alto today. Before we move into the dashboard and everything, look here. Another purchase from Coliseum in Mastercraft. It was a bit, the trade date was 20 of June and the filing date was 25. They bought a 1949, which is their cheapest price so far. And you know, Mastercraft even dropped today. It has actually now reached 18, which was my price, 1872. But that was my price target in my tracker sheet. I have not added this time. I wish I could, but because of my situation right now, I don't have the cash to put in there. But I would for sure average down a bit. I'm going to pull up the fundamentals again on Mastercraft today. I just find it interesting. Like the last two here now, if you look at the stream where Dane and I talked about that we expect them to to buy more, and they have done so. And I love to see it. This is a big sums too. You know, if you add this up here, we're talking about a lot of millions now. And you look at them, they are just also averaging down if you look at the prices here. So they probably see the same as Dane and I have said, talked about, that we see like a good support here, and that with the fundamentals that we're going to pull up again soon, you see they have a heavy cash position. The macro environment is going to turn at some point, and then they can get their business going again a bit higher. like we have talked about before. Also, if you look at the history here, Coliseum has been involved before, and like look at their sale, 34.24. Um, that's like, you know, that's right at the top. So they know, obviously they know what they're doing, and then they bought back in here again, uh, straight after. So I'm confident when I see stuff like this, that our thesis is also correct. So it's just good to see more insider buys. And they were down today. Opportunity, maybe if you are interested here. I'm not advising anyone to buy or anything based on what you see on this stream. Of course, you read the disclaimers that we throw everywhere. Um, but if I had the chance to buy more here, I think I would. I like the fundamentals and I like the chart right now. I like the insider buys. I like their cash position. So let's just pull them up. Let's check them straight away. Oops. NASCAR US officials are increasingly concerned Israel is going to carry out airstrikes and a possible ground offensive in Lebanon in the coming weeks. Yeah, I saw news about that. I also saw um, some other news that I thought were a bit, you know, unsettling for like market conditions and stuff like that. But we live in uncertain times. There's a lot of wars going around now, and um usually, like, of course, you pay attention to this as an investor in any style that you have to, and not even as an investor, like also in your personal life, you of course have to update yourself on these events, and it's terrible, you know. But I'm not, as an investor here. This is things I look at and have in the back of my head, but uh, uh, it also makes things drop a lot, you know. So it can also create. Uh, it sounds very cynical, but opportunity for investors. Um, but it's of course something noteworthy, and something. How do you navigate that, NASCAR, as a day trader? How do you navigate like big events like that that will affect the entire world? All right, so Mastercraft here. You know, revenue is heavily down. Look at the cash position, 100 million. The market cap is 300 million. Even if in a year where revenue is down, they are generating pretty good operating and free cash flow here. They don't pay a dividend, which I like, and they have control of their debt. There's no problem here. They're not going bankrupt. You know, they've even made some acquisitions. Um, Earnings still positive. They've had one bad year. Now is the COVID year. So, in my opinion, a well run company. Um, Margins a bit down now, but like, you know, when margins are down, you get these drops that we're seeing here. They do trade a little bit over book value. It's not a problem though. Um, and I didn't realize the short position was 660. That's I don't understand why uh, that short position must come from, like, again, the macro environment, and that the consumers are not prioritizing to buy boats right now, you know, which is true, which is also part of the thesis that I went in with. But um, that's why you get this opportunity, and things will most likely change around at some point, you know. And I think this like we have said before, also, I'm not seeing the massive upside here, but I think it can go to 30. I would look back at previous wars when Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24, 2022, and then the attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. I look at the stocks that moved the most following those events. Yeah, yeah, it's these are of course things that matters and move markets. So if you can try to track things in those times, you can actually take advantage of it and get some opportunities. Definitely something to look at, you know. And we have said it, like, sadly, this is how it is. Like catastrophes and stuff like that also creates chances to get in at cheaper levels than you normally would. We also saw the gold mine in Turkey that collapsed. The stock price has gained a little bit since then, but that, you know, yeah, I just wanted to take another look at Mastercraft here to show everyone like what we are seeing, and this cash position is of course a big part of, yeah, and they have no debt even, like, well, they have debt, but there's no problem. So if they can improve their margins a little bit and go back to, like, you know, these types of numbers, which won't be easy, but even a slightly improvement can send the stock price up again based on, like, belief, you know. So Coliseum is bullish, and I'm bullish as well. If you get Coliseum and Redneck Johnny bullish, you're doing something right. I'm just kidding. But good to see though. And let me know, anyone in the chat, if you know about Coliseum, because I don't tried to done some research on them before, and I can't find so much information. I know that Starbucks mentioned them in a Seeking Alpha article in one of his comments. So I assume that they are well known, but you know, I'm not based in US or anything like that. I assume this is a LLC. Are you then from? I don't even know where they are from. Yeah, you say. Anyways, I haven't found a lot of information, so if you know about them, please let me know in the comments here. Um, so we can learn more about them. Um, yeah, I think that's it for also Mastercraft. You know, we have covered it in depth before. Uh, there are no secret that both Dan and I is involved at these levels, and we like both the fundamentals and we like the chart as well. We like the insider buys, the cash position, the fact they have no debt, and also the fact they don't pay a dividend. I like it. They have bought back a little bit of shares, which also is good, but that's not a massive part of the thesis. But you have to ask, like, what are they going to use this cash position for? You see, the capex also is pretty stable now in the last year. So actually, what have they done for operating? pretty steady. Now the even cost and expense is a bit down here, at least from in my numbers. So now interesting to see. I had a price target, not a price target, but like it would interest me at 18. I went in on 19 something, but now it has actually dropped to 18 something. So if I had more money, I would look at averaging down here. In those trading at 414 on, look at that date, 2222 by 3722, it hit 87. Oh, that was the big move following the start of Russia Ukraine. Yeah, that's a crazy move. That's a crazy move. You told me a little bit about your screening methods last time, Lashkar. It was very interesting to hear, and you know, we're trying to learn more on the technicals, but still the styles are a bit different from a day trader and to what we are doing. So we definitely have a little bit of a different style, but I find it fascinating how you work to find these movers and to jump into them, because to me it seems like you are pretty successful with your method. So all credit to you for you know, your style and how you have developed that style. JD, hey man, got to go. I'll watch the rest later. Great stream so far. Yeah, thanks JD. Nice to have you here. I love when you come in here and use the chat. It sparks a conversation, so it helps Dane and I also to, you know, not just get stuck in the numbers. And that's the whole purpose with the stream, to get some conversation going about you know, different tickers. So nice to see you, JD, and thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you again on Saturday then with Dane and myself. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and good luck if you are involved in Alto. Good luck to you. Hey, Value. Good morning. You had your coffee yet? Bit harder to hear you today. Lower volume. I shouldn't have lower volume. Did this help? So sorry about that. I hope this helped. Thanks for the feedback. I think I have accidentally turned my microphone not off, but a bit lower in volume. Much better. Okay. Thanks for the feedback, Value. You know, I am watching the stream to see if everything is good, but I can't have the volume on because then it would be echo. So thanks for the feedback, and I hope the quality has been good enough so far. And apologies if you have struggled to hear me. Bring the coffee now. Good. Have you seen Alto's move, Value? Are you involved in Alto? %10% in Alto, good. I'm not good to know. Like, I'm not saying that it will work out or anything like that, but we are in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Great jump, yeah, it was, and on no news, like maybe just the market has caught on, and you know that it's moving from the lows. I spent a lot of time in the beginning of the stream to go through the updates. There's been some tweets from Justin with the crush margin updates. I'm sure you saw them. So yeah, just good to see. All right, are we gonna check the dashboard? I didn't see the big moves today, so I'm not. Wheat is up. That has an effect on Alto, of course. But if you go to the chart, it's like, you know, has had a somewhat big drop. So I'm not gonna spend too much time in the dash today. I have pulled up some tickers. Like I've told you in the past here now, I have built out my database with Y sheets, and it's starting to get along really nice. But my biggest issue right now is it takes like sometimes 10 minutes to update everything. So I am debating myself if I, because I want to update everything after the market close, and that's also when I start the stream. So to have people wait 10 minutes for me to update their sheets is not necessarily you know, good, but I found a way now to do it a bit quicker, so I have done it today. So I have added my this is still a bit trial and error, you know, so everything is not working perfect. Let's just check here if this is updated. Yeah, it looks like. So Y sheets are missing some tickers. I have been in touch with them and sent them a list of tickers that I have noticed that they are missing. So Guillermo said he will add them, but he didn't know exactly when. So I have to update like my entire database once a month to get new tickers that has gone public into my sheets. So hopefully on the next update I will see more tickers being there. But what's a bit different now in my daily movers and stuff is I have allowed a little bit more pharmaceutical companies and medical companies into the sheet. I'm still filtering out the pure biotech companies, but you know, companies that sells equipment to the medical field, stuff like that, I have allowed them in. I might have to filter more things out as I go here, but this has expanded my database, so I get a little bit more tickers now every day pulled in here. But I have to update it manually, so that's the biggest difference for me. And I've also like pulled in the same data into my tracker sheet. So I also made a different version of this. And here, this is where I'm not too happy with how things are currently, because I need Y sheets to add some of these stickers that I don't have. Like when I had finally built out everything, there was too many tickers missing here for my liking. So I hope they can do it quick. And Guillermo said like hopefully he think he will do it quick also. But it's good because now I can control everything myself. And so far it works very well. So, but I have to take a little bit time to update the sheets. Just so I inside buy here, minimal. Doesn't matter too much. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know why I was a bit late. Guillermo said that he's also going to add one button that updates everything in Y sheets at the same time. So I'm waiting for that too. That would be an excellent update if they can do that. That will save me time for sure. So hopefully they can come with an update that will be you know, better. Let's start with AMRK today. We talked about them on a previous stream now recently as an angle to play gold. Copy is involved. Kingdom has written some good articles here. And I just wanted to point out today that it kept on dropping like till 256. And you know, Copy was probably involved here, like probably he was involved around here. But also it was known that he was more vocal about his position. That I saw some comments on Seeking Alpha were talking about this bounce up was maybe due to that. I'm not sure though. But then maybe luckily for us, if you're interested in this, it has kept dropping, and it kept dropping today too. So now it actually came down to 32.36. I said on the last stream, I'm tempted to start a position here. I'm not sure if I will do it. I will let you guys know if I end up doing it. But there's a lot of things that I like here. We went through it in more depth on Saturday, so I'm not going to do it now. I just wanted to show everyone that it kept on dropping today, and that it's like getting close to you know, Dane and I said on the last time we would of course want to be here in February. It's annoying that it went to 25 and we didn't see it, or we didn't realize the opportunity there, but at 25 this is very interesting. And then maybe, okay, you won't get 25 again, but you know, if it drops towards 30, it gets more interesting. So it's just something I track, something I'm very interested to do, to get a good entry in if I can. So yeah, just wanted to pull it up today. So the first one from the new ones is HLLY, HLLY. I thought it was HLLY. So they make auto parts. They make stuff for cars. Trades at 11% to 52-week low. There has been some insider buys, but not a lot. This one was in March, and then before that was last year. The biggest one was in March here from the director, and there's somewhat recent been another here for 50,000, and you know, it's small, but it's not nothing. So just good to see that they keep buying the stocks. I forgot to say the price they were buying at. 339 and 420. We bought at 420. 357 and 339. So the last you know, so far this is a good buy for him, or Rubel Matthew, yeah, him. 357 operating cash flow 85 cents, free cash flow 80 cents, so almost nothing here in capex. Revenue is a little bit down all these years, but not a lot. Share count is up. The debt is also down a little bit, so they are paying it down, you know. They have a little bit of cash, not too much in short-term debt, so that's taken care of. They trade slightly below book right now. I think the margins are, you know, pretty. It's down since here, but other than that, most of them are a bit up this year, which is reflective in this column here. You know, positive earnings, no dividend, 5% short interest. I wish they had a little bit more in operating cash flow and free cash flow though, but it's not bad. And if you take a look at the chart, this went up to 8. But that was on a, I don't know why, that was like good earnings maybe. And then it has taken a hit since then. But I think who owns this? I don't have the insider ownership. That was not the right Polly. Seems like they have some warrants too. Oh no. Oh no. So this guy is selling. Yeah. Not a lot of names. I need to check Seeking here to see what's going on. Gold Panda, writing on them. Downgraded them in May. Not a lot of comments. Gold Panda has been following them for a while and been pretty bearish, it seems like. But yeah, so hold rating now. That's the thing. If free cash flow decreases from here, it's not enough for me to be interested. Cool graphics. He's just worried about the guidance is being too optimistic, and you know, I don't know too much about this company, but they don't have so much room to mess up on, you know. If the cash flow generation turns negative again, this is not interesting at all. I would want them to even, you know, improve the numbers they currently have. And it seems like, okay, now maybe so far they haven't had acquisition, but they are buying stuff to grow, you know, which has worked for them, but also share dilution, also a jump in debt, even though they pay it down now. Let's just check the debt real quick. Twenty 28, no revolver. This is the one. Okay, they have time to that, but the and what was the interest rate? I can't find it right now. It doesn't really matter. They have time, but to not be able to not take on more debt, and you know, they are diluting every year here. they need the cash generation to improve. And then, okay, it's only one article that I've read about them so far, but he seemed to have followed them for quite some time, and he wasn't very bullish on he didn't believe the guidance of the management. So that's something to look in for. But just a quick look at it now. I'm not gonna add this to the tracker, I think, but you know, I have it added to my database here, so if it shows up again, I can see that it's a familiar ticker that I know that I've done before. So and you know, with the sheet diluting this these numbers, I can argue that the price is a bit high here even. So yeah, no, I'm not interested in this at these levels. I think we move on to DHX. CHWY Group provides data, insights, and employment connections through specialized services for technology professionals in the United States, the United Kingdom, the rest of Europe, the Middle East, Africa, the Asia Pacific, and internationally. Why can't they just put the whole world? Would be easier for me to read. The company operates DICE that offers job posting of technology and non-technology companies for industries such as position for software engineers, big data professionals, systems administrators, database specialists, project managers, and other technology and engineering professionals, and clearance jobs on internet-based career network which matches security cleared professionals with hiring companies searching for employees. It also provides eFinancial Careers, a financial service careers website for financial services industry professionals from various sectors, including asset management, risk management, investment banking, and information technology. The company serves small, mid-sized, and large direct employer staffing companies, recruiting agencies, consulting firms, and marketing departments of companies. The company was formerly known as DICE Holdings and changed its name to DHI Group in April 2015. And they are headquartered in Centennial, Colorado. Sorry for the long reads. When I don't know the companies, I also need to read it so I know what they are doing. And because of my language, you know, it's better for me to read the entire thing than to just read a little bit. But you know, they are servicing these people with staffing and employment. Somewhat decent insider ownership here. And they own 15%. This Art Seeley, he owns 6.2, and the rest adds up to 15%. So, you know, that's pretty good. That's even more higher than what I have in my sheet. 218, book value 241. You know, here, if you look at the operating cash flow historically, all positive. Same with free cash flow actually. So seems like you know, decent run company. However, if you look at the data up until maybe the pandemic, it looks much better than after. So the growth has not been there, you know. Share count is way down since the pandemic. But again, book value is down. Cash generation is, you know, stagnant, a bit up and down. Heavily down off of free cash flow. So are they increasing their expenses here? Well, a little bit up and down there too. They don't have a lot of cash, but they also don't have debt. You know, they seem to have control of the debt. 50 million long term, 2 million short term here, and they have 2 in excess cash. So they should be covered with the debt. And it seems like they had a bad earnings report that made the share price drop. You know, if you traded this, you could have gotten a little bit of good return here after the earnings report, and then you get one of these big spikes down. Look at the RSI too, dropping, and then pretty quickly you can sell out again here. Just checking some stuff on the chart that you know, the chart looks a bit good on this one. But I'm not sold on the fundamentals. However, $2 almost in share price and 50 cents in operating cash flow. That's something, you know. The earnings is positive, but I just, this company lack growth. Let's see if anyone is writing about it. Artificial intelligence and headcount increase are great ingredients. This is a bit old though, so no comments. Old articles. Let's just read a little bit of them. The company has seen growth in visits to its platforms and has a strong base of large clients. Have they repurchased shares? Oh yeah, we saw that. Talking a little bit about the same that we saw. Have they made the acquisition? I don't see they have made many acquisitions after pandemic. Maybe they haven't been in a position of it. The debt is much the same. They probably spent the money to spend some money at least to buy back shares, which I don't know. You know, it's trading close to a 52-week low now, so they might not have done good deals on these repurchases, you know. Believes that it has great opportunities to scale its business organically as well as through acquisition related businesses. That's what it's lacking though so far, from what I see in the fundamentals, like proof that it has grown. But large clients, I just feel like this is a big if to base your thesis on. But of course, if it turns out right, it would be something. But in 2002 and 2003, the company acquired a significant amount of stock, and a significant numbers of shares are available for purchases. I mean, you know, the price has been pretty high then when they have been buying back these stocks. So I'm not sold on like how good that has been. Sold on like how good. Yeah, so he's seeing upside, but not the big upside here. And like I said, I like the chart a bit where it currently is at now. But I'm not the biggest fan of the fundamentals, to be honest. The chart a bit where it. So I don't think I will add this one even to the tracker. You see, margins are down even. But it does get interesting at 217. And if I think if you get in here, you could get like a little bit of a bounce, but it's not interesting for me. And I don't think even I will add it to tracker. I don't see the big potential here. Of course, if that guy is right and they do activate that platform and attract more people to their services and stuff like that, good for them. Then we can revisit this one. But as of now, I don't see that management has grown this company well enough, and also the purchases of shares seems a bit at a high price for me. So I'm not sold on how good that has been even. So let's move to the next one, ALOT. Here, don't get confused, because I'm getting confused with this a lot. I like them a lot. I actually told Dane about them on Monday or Tuesday, and they have gone up a little bit since then. I think it was up almost 10% yesterday, and then again almost 4% today. But imagine having a portfolio with ALTO and ALOT. That would make me too confused, I think. So maybe it's good if I avoid avoid them here. No, just kidding. Of course, I actually do like them. I like them on the fundamentals. I like it on the chart. I like it on the strategy that we are like developing a bit with everything coming together. They are a technology company, and they trade above book value. But I mean the cash generation, and look at this, since last year they have improved a lot, right? Also added a little bit of share, but pretty steady share count all this time. It shows up as safe. The debt is 20 million, 8 in short term, but they have cash of 3. So they need to deal with the debt here, you know, and maybe dilute a little bit more. But look at the free cash flow, $2 per share. They trade at 15, you know. It's not bad. It's not amazing either, but it's pretty good, you know. And also here, if you look since the pandemic, book value is slowly increasing. Revenue has gone up now, steady. They spend very little in capex, so they generate free cash flow almost every year since that year. And now they are back to similar numbers to they had here, you know, just improved revenue. And this is also, they cut the dividend after the pandemic, so management, I'm not sure if it's still the same guys there, but they did something to protect the company back then, and they have never got the dividend back even. So that's something that I like to see. 853 in retained earnings, and I think the chart looks good. There has been a big drop here now, and it went all the way down to 13, which is even better. But I told Dane about it, you know, at when they were trading. What were they trading at when I told him? I think they were at 12 or something. I think they were at 13 or 12 when I told him about them. And then, you know, for a quick trade, even the next day, on Tuesday, they went up. No, sorry, I told him on Tuesday. Yesterday they went up almost 10%, and now again almost 4%. So if you wanted to like build a quick position there and sell out, it's even a good return for such a short period, you know. So I think I missed this one a little bit in terms of great entry position, but I'm still interested in it because I kind of like the fundamentals. So this is one I think I will add to the tracker, but I might be a bit late for a good entry here, and we'll have to see a pullback before I get more interested in it. But let's check a little bit more first, who owns it and stuff like that. Bit interesting that he's involved, I think. I don't know the guy, but he has added now. He's if I was right, he had 4 stocks, 3. This is his middle one. Need to read up on him. It's a 13D filing. O'Shaughnessy involved. Small law. Look at it. They have so many. All right, but okay, that's interesting, noteworthy. Are there any insiders? Where are they from? Rhode Island. Any insiders? We had a sale here, almost 1 million in more than a year ago at 14. Now it is 15. Okay. Just want to kind of read the conclusion on this one. Boeing is a big customer, so that's part of the risk that he points out here. No, I like this. I like the I like the free cash flow and operating cash flow at these levels. I like that they have pretty control of the debt. Let's actually check the debt when we are here. They have a revolver. This seems manageable, right? Yeah, I'm not worried about the debt. They have very little cash though, but they are generating free cash flow now. You see, they've had a small dilution. Maybe we'll see more, but then again, look at the steady share count. So maybe they are like very proud of not diluting shareholders too much here. I think they will manage to pay off this debt. The free cash flow is pretty good. Earnings positive all this time, which you like to see. And like I said, like slow growth, right? I will add them. I wish I entered when I told Dane about them, but once again, my situation, I don't have plenty of cash right now, so I can't just enter like that. Something I work on as an investor to free up cash to moving quickly on positions. I would be up a good percentage in 2 days if I managed to do it when I told Dane. And you know, there are things we look at that makes this interesting. I will add it to my tracker sheet so that I have it if it comes a drop again. Maybe I'm ready then. ALOT. Oh, that was right. It's gonna be too hard for me. ALTO and ALOT. Imagine if I'm gonna average down on one of them and I pick the wrong ticker. Then I deserve what's coming. I deserve it, right? You can't be that stupid. What was it? 15-15. I think I will put the 13. What was that owner? Carmen Peter. Just writing to myself kind of what I went through here. You know, little debt, good cash generation. That Carmen Peter was owner. That I liked it more at 13, and that it has had a bounce up. So wait for a pullback before you start to build a potential position. You know. There they are. I should probably mention also like steady share count. Just saying that a potential dilution could lead to a bigger price drop again, which is what I kind of want here. So that was all. I was modifying my comments. I like the chart. I put that in. I like the chart. I like the fundamentals. But as of how much this could go, I'm not sure. I don't see like a tremendous upside. It was more interesting to me at 13. A bit on the technical side also. So it's a bit hard to say what you expect as a high valuation, but maybe for a quick gain this would be good, you know, which I would have got if I went in on Tuesday. which I would have got if I went in on. So let's move on to FIGS, FIGS. I found most of these on Tuesday, I think, Monday and Tuesday. And FIGS was one of them. Consumer cyclical apparel manufacturer, operates as a direct-to-consumer healthcare apparel and lifestyle company in the United States. Designs and sells healthcare apparel and other non-scrub offerings such as lab coats, underscrubs, outwear, activewear, loungewear, compression socks, footwear, and masks. Also offers sports bras, performing leggings, tops, super soft Pima cotton tops, vests, and jackets. Company markets and sells its products through its digital platform, comprising website and mobile app. FIGS. FIGS was founded in 2013 and is headquartered in Santa Monica, California. Pricing website. So not a lot of history, like from the pandemic. They've actually diluted pretty heavily since then. It shows up as safe. They have 254 million in excess cash and only 58 in total debt. 9 in near term. And this money is probably coming from the dilution, you know, which straight away raises the question if you're going to have more dilution here. They trade at $5 and the cash generation is not fantastic by any means, but it's positive this year, so it's improving. The margins slightly up, especially on the cash flow generation. They have spent a lot in capex actually, so the cost is up in those years, so they should work to get those down, but this is probably why you have the dilution too. They needed to grow the company. So they trade above book value. And on the chart, they are from 18% from 52-week low and up 8% today. So I'm just looking at some stuff here on my my other screen here. And they are actually a little bit the same as ALOT, because I saw them on Tuesday or Monday, and then after that he has gone up a fair bit. 8%, 8.5 today. Look here. $4.30 to almost $1 up in a couple of days. That's pretty good. But then again, maybe I'm too late here. I'm not super excited about the fundamentals here. There's stuff that I don't like. This caught my eye more, that it was trading close to the 52-week low and the chart a bit for a quick gain, hopefully, which again, if you jumped in at the time that I saw it, you would have gotten a little bit of a percentage gain here, you know. But I mean, the fundamentals are not the worst. The short interest is 12.5%. So that's noteworthy as well. Let's check the owners. The stock is still a hold. So they've had a rally recently, or that's what it was saying? In May, he's talking about here, from this period to up here, which was a decent rally. But look what you get now, though. It's a little bit similar, but I do kind of agree with his quick take here that it's not reflected in the fundamentals. Stop growing and is unable to post reasonable operating margins. Competition might make profitability even harder to attain in future. Now I think I've seen enough here. I think I'm too late for like a trade, like a swing trade. I don't like this enough to add it to the tracker. I think I kind of missed it. And the reason for it is like the dilution. They need better. They need to improve their cash generation here, and I'm not gonna be involved then with this potential dilution, even though they have control of the debt, you know, and they have money here to grow. It's not a bad position to be in. But I think it trades a little bit high right now in terms of you know, upside. So I'm gonna. I think I was too late on this one to get something out of it. So let's move on to the next one, HVT. So HVT, furniture company. HVT Furniture Company operates as a specialty retailer of residential furniture and accessories in the United States. The company offers furniture merchandise under the HVT's brand name. It also provides custom upholstery products and eclectic looks and mattress product lines under the CHLLY, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and SATA names, as well as private label Sky name. The company sells home furniture furnishings through its retail stores as well as through its website. They had 121 showrooms in 16 states in the southern and midwestern regions. It was founded in its old company in Atlanta, Georgia. So after the pandemic, like a lot of other like home builders and furniture company, they look pretty good. They have bought back shares here. But revenue is also down. They are currently trading at $24 and the book value is 20, but you kind of like this growth though, even though you see this a lot in these types of companies. 10% short interest. Cash generation is pretty decent. I wish the capex is a bit high. They do pay this dividend, which is a good dividend. Earnings are positive. They show up as levered, but the sheet doesn't issue shares here, and that's they have a big cash position, and they also generate also historically good free cash flow. So they like the calculator that we have built in doesn't think the debt will be a problem. Like they're not gonna have to dilute too much to deal with this. Margins bit up, but also from the pandemic year, it's slowly decreasing, you know. They trade actually pretty low now and had a drop today too, 2% from 52-week high. If you look at the chart here, it's in a it's in a pretty bearish trend here, and you see it has even taken out these support levels around here, and even if you go a little bit higher up, it was close to 26 bucks. So the next now is obviously this one, 22, 23. A big sale volume here recently. This is probably, it's actually in between earnings report, but the fall came from this earnings report and another one, and they soon have another one according to TradingView here. So that's 30 of July is the next one. So this is like actually on the chart, I kind of like to maybe jump in at around these levels. And I don't dislike the fundamentals. I just wish they could generate a little bit more in free cash flow and operating cash flow here. But I'm not expecting them kind of to go back to these numbers after the pandemic, you know. You see a lot of similar companies having the same trend as these ones. But I think if you would kind of want to jump in here around, you know, 24 bucks, I could justify that. I think and look at the dividend too, you know. I think I will add these to the tracker. I kind of like them more than the ones I didn't add to the tracker here. Don't see too many familiar names. Value saying Figs looks like a low barrier to entry company, easy to start a competitor. Easy to start a competitor. Oh yeah. But didn't they said this guy at least was saying like the company has gained a strong reputation for its innovative designs and comfortable fabric. So maybe they are taking like getting a grasp of the market a bit with the name and like. But I don't know this. I agree with you, Value, that you would imagine that it's pretty. First of all, it's probably a competitive space to start with, but also if you can, you know, deliver something similar, shouldn't be too hard. I agree with that. Let me know if you've heard about this company before. I haven't. It's a popular retailer known for its fashionable and high quality scrubs. Actually, let's check their website. Maybe they have some. yeah, I don't know too much about this, like how easy it would be to. I assume the space is hard to compete in. The clothes looks decent, you know. But what do I know? Would you walk like this, like a vest? They are very happy, at least. Looks like they are very happy to wear. If you wear these clothes, you get very happy. Seems like that. Anyways, value. Let me know what else you think of figs. Like, I'm not gonna add them. So HVT just also on you know, on the chart looks good to enter around here. But the question is how sustainable. Like, can they go back to? They're probably not gonna go easily back to these kinds of numbers here, you know. But book is still growing. Margins are not. Margins are also growing on 3-year average here. Revenue down now, so this is and earnings. But look, the dividend. They keep the dividend at a bit more than $2. So it's not bad, I think. Saying that though, I don't typically deal in like dividend companies, but yeah, this guy is like quickly summarizing, similar to what we saw in the fundamentals here. Long article. Just want to read the conclusion. My opinion, Haverty Furniture is a company worth owning from a dividend perspective, as it has paid dividends consistently for almost a century. It operates in an essential market. So far, the company has relied on opening new stores to drive growth, and potential for the future is significant, as it only operates in 16 states. Company is currently generating revenues similar to those before the coronavirus pandemic, with a 25% staff reduction, with which it seems that management has made a great effort to mitigate the impact of current headwinds. Taking into account that the current revenue contraction is, in my opinion, a problem specific to the housing industry due to the current high interest environment and changes in consumer habits, and not so much on the company side, I consider that these headwinds should be temporary, and Haverty is being able to take advantage to negotiate the acquisition of stores belonging to businesses of highly indebted companies or with less robust balance sheets, which in the long term should translate into record revenues. In this regard, the current headwinds being industry-wide could represent a good opportunity for companies with robust balance sheets and comfortable profit margins, as in the case of Haverty, since both smaller and indebted competitors could be forced to cease or reduce operations due to the current panorama, which is why management is actively seeking expansion opportunities. Meanwhile, those dividend investors interested in taking advantage of the recent share price decline will enjoy a dividend yield on cost of 4.5%, which, current operational pressure aside, is amply covered in any typical year for the company. In the long term, furthermore, special dividends should continue to give positive surprises to investors from time to time, and share buybacks should give way to new increases in dividends, making Haverty Furniture a perfect fit for any conservative long-term dividend investor. I'm not gonna invest in this because of the dividend necessarily, but they're not gonna cut the dividend either. I think there's a 10% short interest though, but I assume that's on the macro environment, and like he pointed out, like a bit like Mastercraft, you know, consumers might not buy too much furniture now, and as you can see, has declined since the pandemic. All of these companies have more or less. But I like the entry. It's close to the 52-week low. The chart looks good in my opinion. The fundamentals looks all right. Therefore I'm gonna add it to my tracker sheet and see if it drops even below 52-week low, and then it would be really interesting, this one, I think. Maybe not for long, like super long term, but shorter term. So I'm gonna add this one. What was it? Home improvement. Good entry, I will say. I would be happy like pretty much where it is, like 23.80. I think I would put. Again, just writing down what I have gone through. Like, I like it at these levels, but I want it to drop even further and could drop even below 52-week lows here. And that I like the chart. They are generating cash. They have control of the debt. They do pay a dividend. They have declined the numbers since the pandemic, but so has all the other stocks in that sector. So I'm just writing those things. So there, yeah, I added two tickers then to the tracker this stream. I kind of like that. Both of them I like. I'm probably a bit late in ALOT. I wish I was in them on Tuesday and would have that gain. Maybe I would be out already then, just like a smaller trade, you know. HVT, you might still have the opportunity, in my opinion. If you look at the chart here, it looks very bearish, has breaking below almost 52-week low, and it might continue. Look at the sell-off here. So that's going to be interesting to follow where this will land, and then maybe to go in for a bounce. The earnings report is soon. Maybe you should wait and see what they can generate there, but also then you might end up missing out, you know. So yeah, pretty happy with that. added the 2 trackers to the added 2 tickers to the tracker sheet. And I think that's it for me today, everyone. It's getting a bit late here, like always on Thursdays for me. But I think we have covered some good tickers today. I'm very interested in ALTO still, Mastercraft still, AMRK, very interested, and I'm very curious to see if it can drop towards closer to 30. That would be very interesting for me. I will let you know if I do anything there. I'm gonna track the things that I added today and see how it goes. Hoping for a pullback on ALOT. HVT, I'm gonna see if it breaks down below 52-week low. And then in general, just following things that happens in the tracker sheet. There's a lot of things that has dropped a lot, so there are some opportunities now, and like I've been saying in past streams also, you see more insider buys now than you saw earlier this year, so that's good to see, I think. But yeah, thanks for everyone who tuned in. Thanks for everyone who used the chat. Happy for everyone who is involved in ALTO today. That it has been a good day, 11% up, 11.5%. So let's see how it goes tomorrow. Dane and I will be back on Saturday, and then I think maybe Dane will switch his stream time to Mondays instead of Tuesdays the week after. But we will let you guys know about those things on Saturday. But again, thanks for everyone who tuned in, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. And I will see you on Saturday then. Bye bye.